Selective Exposure with Friday.
Now with what you're doing, it's incredibly personal.
Right.
It's not about interacting with anyone, you just so happen to share with others, right? I mean, even in this process right now, fundamentally is not collaborative. It's completely for yourself, right?
And it's not determined on what other people think about it, or it's not determined on what trends are happening or how people would perceive it or whatever their judgments might be on it. I remember when I started, it was very difficult for me to have women on board with wearing chain or metal bras. In the beginning, it was very difficult because this was before girls were a lot more, at least to my knowledge, as a trend, girls were a lot more comfortable with just like having their breasts out. And I hate the word exposed. I hate that. It sounds wrong, you know? A lot of people turned me down. A lot of girls didn't like it. They didn't like the concept. They thought it was inappropriate. And then fast forward to now, I noticed a shift because back then I was more concerned about if they don't like it, what's gonna happen to it. It had to change. So, you know, I always explain to everyone that Friday by Friday is an extension of me. It is like a growth journal almost. And it is like a never-ending performance art installation. Like it's ever changing and it's ever growing. And I decided not to create for other people. Once I made that decision to just not focus on that, like not make that my primary focus, I noticed like a shift in everything. And if you don't like it, it's okay. Maybe it's just not for you. You know, maybe what I'm creating is just not for you. And that probably has been one of the best decisions that I've ever made.
I want to bridge here because we had the honor of hosting you and your amazing after-school program called Fashion by Friday.
Fashion with Friday. I wanted to connect younger kids to the industry. And I wanted them to be able to learn all of those things that I learned in my years of going to fashion high school, fashion college, being in the field. Growing up, I wish I had that type of experience. I wish I had a mentor that was strictly in fashion who kind of took me under her wing and said, hey, let me teach you how to plan and produce and edit a photo shoot, or don't be afraid to go into luxury stores in Soho because, you know, you might have $10 in your pocket, but how the hell are they going to know that? You know, you're still a creative. You deserve to be in there. You deserve to look at those clothes and kind of get closer to the industry as you want to. I think it's super crucial that you know who you are before you get into your creative field because it helps a lot. I just recently they had their graduation, the end of summer graduation. It was so overwhelming because it definitely just showed me the sum of all of their work, and having them come up and talk about who they were before the program and who they are now, and hearing them say, you know, before I just wanted to be a nurse, and you know, my mom does nursing and I love it, but now I'm thinking if I'm going to be a nurse, I'll be a fashionable nurse who owns her own business, you know? A year ago, I realized that creatively, I'm not living for myself and my projects. It is in direct work of seeing other people discover their creative abilities. You have these abilities in you, you know, we all have doubts, but you have to push through that. You can't be so concerned about things that don't matter. Your hair doesn't matter. Your makeup does not matter. None of that matters. You know, your mind is so important, and your thoughts and how you decide to curate your thoughts throughout the day. Long story short, I definitely know that my time there, it I know that it's going to be long, and I know that I have to continue to help people. Just trying to be the best person that I could possibly be. Being stern, being good to myself also is important, and just talking about it. Any sort of little game that I've learned, or wisdom or anything like that, I'm just here to pass it along. There's no need to keep it in, like people in the fashion industry do. They learn or they connect with certain people, and it's theirs. This is their connection. This is their thing. Everything's very possessive. Yeah. I don't want to do that.